Hello, and welcome to today's video. This is my very first vlog for the r/fantasy bingo board for, I think it's called the 2025 version. It runs from April to March and the majority of that's in 2025, so I'm pretty sure it's called the 2025 version. And to actually complete it this year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, complete it in hard mode, I figured I'd make some vlogs. I'd hold myself accountable. So this is the first of what's probably going to be between 4 and 6 vlogs for this bingo board. There's 25 squares total. So I'm going to be doing a few of these, and I'm definitely going to be holding myself accountable and hopefully reading some good books. If you've never heard of the Our Fantasy Bingo before, I will link down below both the official post on Reddit that explains everything, and I'll also link down below my TBR ideas for it. Basically, I went through when this was released on the 1st of April. I went through my bookshelves and books I was aware of and talked about potential books that I could read for each and every prompt. So I'll link that down below as well. But yeah, this is a vlog. In today's video, I'm going to be reading 4 books that will fulfill different prompts on the board. Excitingly, they do all also fulfill hard mode, which is what I'm going for, so I'm very happy with that. And then throughout this time of recording this video, so between the start of April and now, which is the 29th of July, I have also fulfilled 2 prompts without even really trying. Like, I've just read books and I've ended up fulfilling prompts. So I'll talk about those a very little amount at the end as well. So you'll be fully up to date with where I am on my bingo board. As I read each book throughout this video, I will tell you what the book is, what the book's about, and what prompt it fulfills for the bingo board. So I will give you all that information either before or after I read each book. This is all already recorded and filmed. I have finished the final book for this video today, so I now know what's going on and I feel pretty hopeful about this. So yeah, hopefully this is one vlog of many you'll see throughout this year, and we will get to complete the bingo. So first up, I'm going to be reading Taproot, and I think it's time we just got into it. I just finished Taproot. This was a very lovely graphic novel which I decided to give 4.5 stars. I did really enjoy this one, just wasn't quite that 5-star feeling. This will complete the LGBTQIA plus protagonist square on the bingo board, which is one of them right in the middle, and the prompt for this one is to read a book where the main character is under the LGBTQIA+ umbrella, and then to hard mode this one, the character is marginalised on at least one additional axis, such as being a person of colour, disabled, member of an ethnic/religious/cultural minority in the story, etc. And in this one, our characters are also people of colour, so that is how it feels hard mode. Taproot is a very lovely little graphic novel. It is about a gardener and a ghost, and it's definitely romance centred, but I would say it probably falls into the category of a cosy fantasy. There definitely are a lot of things going on. There is definitely a plot in this, but the stakes seem very low, and it definitely challenges like your preconceived ideas of things, such as like the main character actually being nice, or a word that has negative connotations actually meaning something completely different in this world, and like not being this like wow evil thing. I'm trying not to give spoilers, so that's all I can really say. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately it's not quite the 5-star because there were I don't know if it's 2 or 3 times, 2 times where it definitely happened, and the 3rd time I feel like it wasn't as bad, but because I've noticed the other 2, I noticed that one as well, where on one page we just kind of ended a scene like quite abruptly, and on the next page it was like completely different, and that happened 2 or 3 times. It did like take me out of the story. Like I think if it was the style of the book and it was happening continuously, it wouldn't have taken me out of the story, it would have just been the style, but it didn't seem to be that way. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and the art style in this was so lovely. I will show a couple of pages. So like as you can see, absolutely stunning art style. So yeah, really enjoyed, would definitely recommend, was great, and filled that square. So yeah, that's it for this one. I will come back when I pick up another book for another square. Hello and welcome back. I have just purchased, well they arrived a couple of days ago, but I've just got the first 3 volumes of Saga, which is a sci-fi graphic novel series with 2 parent protagonists told through the eyes of the child. So I believe the way it's told is like the child is looking back and like telling you the story of how they came to be. I don't know much more about it than that, to be honest, but I'm hoping it will fit the parent prompt, and I'm hoping within the first 3 volumes the child will become a big enough part of the story that it will also hit the hard mode. So that is the plan. I'm going to be reading these. I will read you the synopsis for book 1 if I can find it. There's not a proper synopsis, but it says Saga is the sweeping tale of one young family fighting to find their place in the universe. When 2 soldiers from opposite sides of a never-ending galactic war fall in love, they risk everything to bring a fragile new life into a dangerous old world. Fantasy and science fiction are wed like never before in the first volume of this sexy, subversive, ongoing epic. Sounds good. I've got 3 volumes and I can't wait to read it, so that is the plan. it is now actually the next day. Oh, I've just spotted I've got toothpaste down my top. Okay, let's ignore that. I have just finished the third volume of Saga. That's really gonna bother me. Can I cover it up? There we go. You can't really see it now. And I've gone and made myself some like ice cream to decompress from it. This looks pretty ugly. It did look cute before. I've just mixed it all together. But I did take a photo and put it on Instagram, so I'll insert the photo here when it looked pretty. But yeah, I do feel like I need the ice cream to decompress because, wow. I'm already on Vinted and trying to figure out how I can get the next volumes of this for as cheap as possible. I'm pretty sure once you get to volumes 10, 11, 12, you might as well just buy them new, they're fairly recent. But a lot of these volumes are quite old, so I can get them quite cheap secondhand. I found someone on Vinted that's selling the first 9 for £35. I think I'm going to be cheeky and message them and ask if they'd be willing to separate them and sell me just £49 for a lower price. So you'll see. But I have also found that volumes 4, 5 and 6 are on Everand. I'm pretty sure 7 and 9 aren't, so I won't be able to read on further than that, but like I am tempted to literally just read the next couple tonight as well. I would say that all of these do work for the parents prompt. So the prompt is: parent protagonist, read a book where a main character has a child to care for. The child does not have to be biologically related to the character. And then hard mode is the child is also a major character in the story. I would say they all work for this. I'd say the first one, that's not the first one, the first one, this one, probably works a little bit less for hard mode. But all of these books are being told from the child's perspective, so even when we are only seeing things to do with other people, it is the child who is the narrator. But I would say 2 and 3 definitely work for hard mode. Probably the second one the most, to be honest. Yeah, I would say the second one works the most for hard mode. So I'll probably put that one in for the actual square, because I do think it does fit the best out of the first 3. But I do think all 3 of these would be viable. If someone questioned me on volume 1 for hard mode, I'd maybe be like, I can see where you're coming from, but I would say the child is very important and is a big character in this. But yeah, they all work and I've really enjoyed them. They're all 4 stars. They all have the potential to be 5 stars. These came out in 2012, 2013 and 2014, and unfortunately in all 3 of them there was a little bit of language that was used that is not okay. Like, just to be honest, it's not okay. The first one, we had a word beginning with R used to describe something, which not it. And in these 2 we had a word beginning with F used to describe things or be brought up in conversation, and it's just really not it. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I do think that they will continue to get better. I am so sucked into this world, so sucked into this story. I like all of the characters we're following. We are mainly following these 3, but we do see more and more and more, and we keep getting more characters. And yeah, I really have thoroughly enjoyed this. I cannot recommend it more. The art style is really cool, really unique. I did try and film some of it in the b-roll. I'm not sure how much you will have seen because it is very explicit on a lot of pages. Like, we literally start out with a birthing scene and then there's lots of violence, there's lots of everything. So let me try and find... I don't think there's any actual violence on this page. Like, this is the kind of art you can expect. And then the art was some, like, more... I mean, it's subjective, but I would say pretty colours. I really like these scenes that are in the more blue tones. So this is kind of what you can expect to see. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Really would highly recommend it. 4 stars for all of them. And I'm hoping that as the publication dates on this graphic novel series becomes more recent, that the wordage being used, the words being used in this will stop being so problematic, or stop being words that I am not happy to see in them, and we will get some 5-star reads out of this. So yeah, really enjoyed and would highly recommend. And that is the parent prompt fulfilled. Hello, welcome back. It is the 27th of May. It has been a while since I've read a book for this vlog, and I'm officially wanting to pick up Shiver. not only have I had this now for about 6 weeks, because I have renewed it twice, but this is due back at the library tomorrow. So we are reading all of this today. We're going to do it. It is 6:15. Leandra, the TBR0, has just started reading sprints, so I'm going to be watching these for as long as they're going on basically, and reading this. In the first sprint, which has just started like less than a minute ago, I'm going to have a shower and then start this. Shiver. What is it? Why am I reading it? In terms of the r/fantasy and the prompts, this is going to fit for the 5 short stories prompt. So it's prompt number 19 and it's 5 SFF short stories. Any short SFF story as long as there are 5 of them. Hard mode, read an entire SFF anthology or collection. So this I think I've done very cleverly, because I hate short stories. Like, every so often I'll give them a try and I never really get along with them, but this is manga. This is Junji Ito. They are horror short stories. It is manga, and I think there's 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them? Is there 9 of them? I don't know. There's more than 5 and I can read this entire thing. It has been probably a good year since I've read a manga collection. I read a lot of graphic novels but less manga, so I'm gonna have to remember how to read it and not get confused. I've already tried to show you the back of the book multiple times, but I am excited about this. To be honest, I don't know much about them. I've only read one Junji Ito and it wasn't like a proper horror, it was his like more memoir-y book about his cats. So this will be my first foray, you know what I mean, into Junji Ito, and it will fill that prompt, and if I can read it all it will fulfill hard mode. So that is my hope. I still have a long time left of this sprint. Yeah, we're less than 5 minutes into the sprint, so I'm gonna have a shower and then set myself up and read this. It is 394 pages and these are hour-long sprints, so obviously I'll get less read in the first hour, but 394 pages of manga, like I should be able to read this all this evening. I mean, I have to because it's got to go back to the library tomorrow. So that is the plan. That is what it fulfills. I'll come back at the end after I've finished it and tell you my thoughts and feelings and everything going on with this book. So yeah, let's go. Hello. So I finished my book. I finished Shiver by Junji Ito. Look, I picked this knowing that I didn't like short stories. I don't like short story collections, and I thought putting a twist on it, reading a different type of short story collection could make a difference. Unfortunately, it did not. There ended up being 10 short stories in here. It is advertised as 9, but then at the very end there's one called like bonus story, so it ended up being 10. as I finished them, I went through and I gave each of them a star rating and wrote down my thoughts. I will put my thoughts on Goodreads of each individual one, but I added them up. So I had 10 ratings. Those 10 added together was 27. So I divided that by 10 to get a star rating. So that would be 2.7 stars. So I have been nice, I think. Well, I just prefer to round up anyway, but I have rounded up to 3 stars. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. I definitely want to read other Junjitos. There were some stories in this I really liked. There was just a lot I didn't. So rather than being negative, I'm just going to tell you the ones that I liked. So it shouldn't be surprising, the story this is named after is actually the one that I thought was the best. Shiver was story number 2 in this, and I gave it 5 stars. It was the only 5 stars that I gave. I really liked the way that the story and the art connected together, and I was intrigued by what was happening straight away. I also would say that that short story, Shiver, is not appropriate for people who have that phobia, where it's like a phobia of holes. Not appropriate. But yeah, I did really enjoy it, and I'd say it creeped me out in a way, but like it all went together so well. Like, yeah, I thought it was a good time. And then I gave one 4-star, which was a story called Painter. I enjoyed the story and it made me excited to pick up Tomi. It was linked to Tomi, like Tomi was the main character. I'm not sure if it's Tomi or Tomie. I've heard it pronounced a few ways. Before reading the actual story, I will definitely look it up. But basically it's based on that same main character. And because of that, I did feel confused at times. I do think I probably would have got more out of that story if I was already familiar with Tomi, because I felt like I was guessing a lot of things to do with the character. Like I didn't know them, I was just guessing them. But yeah, 4 stars. And then there were two stories I gave 3 stars. The first one was the first story called Used Record. It was interesting, I liked it, and I liked that it was centred around the record, not the people. But I didn't really feel much from it, and I didn't get sucked into the story. And then the other one I gave 3 stars was like the last official story. It was like the one before the bonus story, and it's called Greased Oil. I really struggled to know what rating to give it, so I just went straight down the middle with 3 stars. It was gross. Like the first word I wrote when I finished reading it was just ew, but I feel like it was ew in a good way, because like this is horror and it was like ew. Yeah, I would not recommend eating whilst reading that one. It was really gross. There was one scene in particular where it was like a face full of spots that were full of oil, because this person was like drinking oil and they're like was over someone and like grabbed their face and squeezed, and it was like, oh yeah, really gross, which isn't a good thing, right? But like it's a horror collection, so it is a good thing. Yeah, I found the story quite interesting, so 3 stars for that. All of the rest got under 3 stars. There was some 2.5, some 2s, and even a 1. So yeah, that is Shiver. I have now fulfilled the prompt of 5 short stories for the bingo board, and I have fulfilled it in hard mode because I didn't just read 5, I completed an entire collection. So hard mode of the 5 short stories square is complete. Yeah, I will see you again when I pick up another book, but for now I'm really happy with this, and I'm happy that I've got the 5 short stories square done as well, because it's always a square that I really struggle with, and this hasn't put me off reading the author. So I do think overall it is positive, and I'm definitely really excited to pick up Tomi. And based on the artwork in here, I'm also very excited to pick up Uzumaki. Those are the 2 that have always jumped out at me from the author. I definitely think I will want to read those 2. And if I enjoy those 2, I will look into more options as well. But yeah, that was Shiver. Hello. It is time for the final book of this vlog. I am going to fulfill one more prompt intentionally in this vlog. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, there's one more prompt that I definitely want to fulfill, and the book I'm going to use to fulfill it is The Ending Fire. This is the 3rd and final book in the Ending Fire trilogy. It started with the Final Strife, then we had the Battle Drum, now we've got The Ending Fire, and I'm very excited to read this to conclude this series, to see what's going to happen to all our characters, to see how, like, there's quite a lot of, like, political upheavals in the world, some of which are very much affected by magic going on at this point, and I really want to know what is going on. This, for me, is the perfect book to fulfill this prompt. I know it 100% will, but it's not going to be the best book to record because I can't tell you a thing about this. Like, honestly, I think even telling you characters that are alive in this book would be spoilers. So this is just going to be me reading this. I will come back and tell you my rating at the end, and if I think it was the good ending to the series, or, you know, if there's anything non-spoilery to tell, I will, but I think it will basically be my rating if I enjoyed it and if I thought it was a good ending. But today I want to deep clean the house. I was away all of last week cat sitting, and the house needs a good proper clean, so that is my plan. So I have absolutely loved the audiobooks to this series, so I'm planning on reading the audiobook for this one as well. Unfortunately, this is the only one that hasn't got the audiobook available on my library, so I have had to purchase the audiobook for this one, which isn't a problem, but I do purchase the, like, editions of this, which, you know, like, it's already $18.99. They could throw an audiobook in there as well. Like, that's definitely what they used to do. Back in my day, you used to get the audiobook link, but no worries. Yeah, so I'm excited to read this one. I'm excited to finish this series. So what prompt will it fulfill? The prompt is a book in parts, and it is read a book that is separated into large sections within the main text. This can include things like acts, parts, days, years, and so on, but has to be more than just chapter breaks. Hard mode, the book has 4 or more parts, and if I flip through this without spoiling myself, so come on, there we go. On this page here, it says part 5. So there are more than 4 parts, so it also fulfills hard mode. So yeah, I'm really, really excited. Come along with me. Let's listen to the audiobook of this. I'll probably potentially pop into the physical book as well. I don't know. I definitely did in the first book, but in the second book, like, it was just audio. So we'll wait and see how I feel about this one. But yeah, I'm very, very excited, and that is the prompt we're fulfilling. So let's read. Okay, it is time to talk about it. I finished The Ending Fire, and I'm giving it 4 stars, which is a really, really good rating. I obviously was hoping for more. This is the end of the series, final book in the series. There's a lot to be concluded in here. And I think, unfortunately, there were just a few annoying things throughout, and then I really didn't like I guess you already know there's 5 parts in this, so part 5, how that was done, how it quickly went over those events. I mean, like, I liked it in a way that I found interesting and it kept me on my toes and I kept thinking, but I feel like I missed out on a lot, and that was all of what this entire book series had been leading to, was what eventually happened in part 5 of this. So yeah, I felt like it was an interesting way to write it, but writing it that way made me feel like I'd missed out on a lot, and that's just not what you want when that's where all the satisfaction for this book series is gonna lie. But yeah, like, it was good. It's 4 stars, like, that's a great rating. I'll definitely be keeping this. I would definitely recommend the series. I think the only unfortunate for me is my favourite book of the series is book 1. So I think you'd have to preface it with being like, book 1 is super amazing and the series continues to be good. But yeah, like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had a good time reading it. I was so in this world. Like, this is all I've read for the last 2 days. Like, I haven't even thought about another book or picked up another book. I've just been reading this for 2 days solid, and it's a chunky one. It is a very, very chunky one. It is 450 pages total. I think my other thing is, like, I really like the writing. I like Sarah Elarivi. I like how she writes, but there was only one thing that really stuck out to me in this. So, like, I did put a tab on it, and you know, that's good, but I think I would have liked a little bit more, but I don't know how that would have happened because I'm not a writer. I don't write. I don't know how to articulate what would have made this better, but there were just a few things that are off for me, basically. Like, up to part 5, I was like, depending on how this goes, it'll be a 4 or a 4.5, and after part 5, it felt like a 4. I mean, I guess if I was being really pedantic, it could have been less than a 4, but it didn't ever feel like it was going to be. Because, like, you know, with writing, as much as I enjoy the writing, like, I couldn't see a way that the final part would be messed up enough that I would do like a lower rating than 4, but I was like, if it stays like this, then 4's 4. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can say that wouldn't be spoilery, so that's going to be it for me. I will write a full review for this on Goodreads before the end of the month, so if you have read this series and you would like more details on my thoughts, that will be in Goodreads, where I can do spoiler hidden sections. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it, and it fulfilled the prompt. It is a book in parts, and it was more than 4 parts, it was 5 parts total, and I really enjoyed it, and I feel very satisfied and very good at the end of this to have also finished the series. So, as a recap of what I've read for this video, for our first 4 books of the Our Fantasy Bingo, I first of all read Taproot, a graphic novel, and that fulfilled the LGBTQIA plus protagonist prompt. I then went straight into Saga. I read 3 of them. I've used the second one officially for my prompt, which is parent prompt, and to do the hard mode, the child had to be a major character of the story, and I picked the second book. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've now read 9 of these. Since reading those first 3, however many months ago it was that I read them for this video, I've read 6 more. And this series definitely fits this prompt so well. And the further on into the series you get, the more and the more the child becomes a part of the story. So yeah, officially used volume 2 to fulfill the prompt, but any of them could have. And then I read Shiver, which was to fulfill the 5 short story prompt. It didn't go amazing, but I did read it, and that has got, for what I personally find, one of the most difficult prompts to do and make myself do, at least in the hard mode, which was to read the entire collection, which I did with this. There were 11 stories, I think, in this, or was it 9? I can't remember. There were 2 Junjitos I was and ahhing between, and one had 9 and one had 11. Can't remember off the top of my head which one this one was. But yeah, I read that. It fulfilled the prompt. It fulfilled hard mode because I read the entire thing, not just 5 of them. So really happy with that. And then obviously we have The Ending Fire, our 4th and final book that we read in the video, and this fulfilled the book in parts, and it fulfilled hard mode because it was more than 4 parts. So that's kind of everything that we've read for this video. Then, as I mentioned at the very start of this, which yes, I did just record because I hadn't recorded an intro up until this point, I have read 2 more books throughout the making of this video that have happened to fulfill prompts. So I have read Obsidio, which fulfilled the epistolary prompt. It didn't necessarily fulfill epistolary, like if you just look at that, that's meant to be letters, but the prompt itself was for mixed media, and Obsidio definitely fulfills that. And then for Stranger in a Strange Land prompt, I read Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear. I hadn't officially put this or planned on reading it because I think it's very hit or miss with the Wayward Children books as to whether they would fulfill this prompt. But this one 100% does, and it also fulfills the hard mode for it as well. They both actually fulfill hard modes for their prompts. And yeah, this one definitely does. If there's any Wayward Children I would recommend, to say this like is the perfect fit it for this prompt, it would actually be this one. Like, it specifically goes into talking about not only the way Wayward Children does these like ideal words for their kids, but also in a way that like this person has like gone to America from a different country and she's very much just like put into this life and told who she's meant to be. And it definitely, yeah, it fulfills this prompt so good. Cannot recommend it more. Wayward Children, absolutely love. Obsidio, on the other hand, also loved, 5 stars, perfect. It is the third and final book in the Illuminae files, all of which are in mixed media and all of which are primarily in mixed media, so any of them could actually work for this. So yeah, very happy with these 2 additional books being read as well. And with that being the case, at the end of this vlog, this is how the bingo board is currently looking. We have fulfilled 6 of the prompts from the bingo board. No bingos yet, unfortunately, but I do feel like with how they've kind of almost lined up, we could have a bingo by the end of the second vlog of this. By the end of this, doing the second one, we could end up with a bingo. If not the second, definitely the third, because it's coming together. And yeah, it's very exciting. I do actually already have my first book planned for the second vlog, which I'll plan on starting next week. So hopefully the second part of fulfilling this bingo board will be with you in 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, more coming very soon. In the meantime, there'll be other vlogs and other bookish videos uploaded, so there's always more stuff, but specifically the R Fantasy, I reckon 6 to 8 weeks and we'll get another video, at least 4 prompts done in that video, hopefully, fingers crossed. So overall, I've really enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed my reading. I've really enjoyed the books that I've picked. I do think this has been a slightly easier one, but I have picked prompts that I wasn't as sure about. So prompts where I felt like when going into them, I was confident on the book, but not confident if it had hit hard mode. And for this, it really has. So I'm really happy with that. And yeah, I can't wait to continue this and hopefully actually complete the bingo this year. This is the first year I'm like properly trying to do it. Like last year, I was properly into it and I was trying to fulfill it throughout the year, but I was never spending time with it. I never printed it out. I never really did much with it, so I don't think I ended up fulfilling it last year. I never fulfilled it intentionally. My hope was just that throughout the year with my natural reading I might get some bingos, but by the end of the year I could not remember what I read when, so I never ended up checking it, but pretty sure I never completed it. So this is the first year I'm doing it properly and I'm very excited to do it and very hopeful that I will actually complete it this year. My hope, fingers crossed, is to get an actual complete bingo, fulfill every single prompt throughout the board and have every single possible bingo there is, and to do it all in hard mode. So that is it for now. That is it for the first video. That is it for the first 4 prompts fulfilled, but actually 6, because we obviously hopefully we fulfill some accidentally just with natural reading. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. Do give it a like if you did like it. Subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.